Hi there, this is Dory with the Victor Farmington Library, and I am back again with another teen craft. This time we will be making macrame planters. The macrame planters are the teen take and make craft kit for September. So if you are able to stop by the library, you can pick up your own craft kit. The kit should have most of what you need in order to make one of these really cute macrame planters. So I'm going to show you how to go about and make them. So you will need, first of all, a little terracotta pot. This one that I'm going to be showing you today is made with a really small mini pot. And you will also need some yarn. If you were able to pick up one of the kits in the library, you should have a set of instructions telling you how to do it. And it would also be helpful to have a little tape. So I just have a piece of tape waiting here. Let's get started. So you're going to need 8 strands of yarn. The ones in the kit should already be pre-cut. Each piece of yarn should be about 2.5 feet long, or about 30 inches. You're going to take all 8 strands of yarn, put them all together. So you have your 8 strands of yarn, they're all together, and you're going to just make a knot at one end about 3 inches from the end, and that's going to create the little tassel that hangs on the bottom of the pot. And there's my knot. Next, you're going to take your strands of yarn and you're going to separate them into groups of 2. So you're going to have 4 groups of 2. Just like that. And then each group of 2, you're going to make a knot near the top, just about 1 inch from the main knot. Just like that. And you're going to do that with each group of 2. That's one knot, and I'm going to make the other knots all the way around here. Okay. Now I have, you can see my 4 knots, and these are all about 1/2 inch maybe from the main knot that will go on the bottom. Now you're going to take your little pot, turn it upside down. I can take that little label off. And then you're going to put the yarn over the pot with the tassel in the center and the 4 groups of yarn spread out evenly. And now one thing that makes this a whole lot easier going forward is to just take a little piece of tape and tape the yarn on to hold it in place while you're working. So I'm just putting one piece of tape over there. That's just going to help me so that this doesn't move around so much when I'm doing the rest of my knots. All right, so now we're going to continue with our knots. Now I'm going to take from each of these groups, I'm going to take one piece from one group and another piece from the group next to it, and then I'm going to knot these together. And I'm going to do these about 1 inch from the last knots. And this is going to be my second row of knots, just like that. And then I turn my pot and I take this piece and take one piece from the group next to it, and then I'm going to tie these 2 together. It's tricky when you're using a really little flower pot. It's a lot easier actually when you have a larger pot to work with. But these little mini planters come out so cute, and they're perfect for just sticking a tiny little succulent in or a little air plant. Okay, so now I've got 2 of my second level of knots. And again, I'm going to take this piece and one from the group next to it and tie these together. So you're just going to continue doing this all the way around the pot until you make 4 more knots, and that's your second level of knots. There we go. And then you just want to make sure they're all pretty even and spaced out. I like to rearrange my yarn. And now we're going to just repeat that same process and go for a 3rd row of knots. So again, I'm going to take, so now you have 4 groups, just like we did last time. Take 1 strand from one group and 1 strand from the group next to it, and make another knot. That is our 3rd. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do this all the way around, so you're going to make 4 more knots. Okay, so now we've got 3 layers of knots, 3 levels of knots all the way around. The instructions that come with the Take and Make kit that we're handing out at the library actually say to do 3 levels of knots. However, I kind of like to do more. I've made my knots closer together so I can get more than 3. So I'm going to do a 4th level of knots and maybe even a 5th if I have room. So once again, I'm going to go for a 4th level. Take 1 strand from one group, 1 strand from the group next to it, and tie a knot to tie them together. And again, I'm going to go all the way around, make 4 more knots on this 4th level of knots. 4th level of knots. There we go. I'm just finishing up my 4th knot on my 4th level of knots. Now I'm just going to pull it tight and see how it looks. So I think on this one I'm going to stop at 4 because once I pull it, this 4th level of knot comes pretty close to the top of the pot. All right, so I think this one is almost done. What we're going to do next is add the hanging ring. In your kit, you should have also received, if you picked up a kit, a little metal ring, like a keychain ring, and we're going to use this for the hanger. So we're just going to gather all our yarn, make sure your pot is centered right in there. Gather up all the yarn. And then just put it through the ring. And tie a knot to secure it. There we go. Now you are almost done. Just one last thing to do, and that's to remove the piece of tape that you put on the bottom. Might be a little hard to get at it because you've put yarn over it. There we go. And there you have your mini macrame planter. And here it is hanging up in my yellow bathroom. It's so pretty. I put a little air plant in it. These little pots are perfect for a little air plant. It would also be super cute with just a tiny little succulent, or even any little small plant, a little cactus, even some grass from outside would be really pretty. There you go. I hope you enjoy your macrame planter, and I hope you had fun making it. Thanks everyone.